All right, here it is, the new Milwaukee grease gun versus the old tried and true Ryobi grease gun. So I've had this one a while. If y'all been following the channel, you've seen me do a lot of greasing on my tractor, my grapple, and other things. But now we have upgraded, or at least I assume this is an upgrade. We're about to find out. Welcome back to the lovely place, y'all. Thank you for coming by here today. So yeah, I got this new Milwaukee grease gun, and I just kind of happened upon it. It was on a really good deal, and I thought if I'm ever going to bite the bullet and get the Milwaukee one, and it's the M18, by the way, now's the time to do it, so we grabbed it. Now, there's nothing at all wrong with this Ryobi. It's been a good one, and I'll still use it. I'll keep it in one location, keep this one in another one probably. But we're going to test these side by side. We'll pop new grease into each one of them. This is the Traveler's Premium Heavy Duty. It's NLGI number 2. So this is number 2 grease. And that's what my Case I 875C calls for. So we will pop this in each one of them, and we'll pull out the tractor and we'll grease up the grapple, maybe a few points, Zerk fittings there on that Case I 875C as well, and we'll see how they do. I'll find the biggest, baddest, strongest Ryobi battery I've got, because I don't have the best Ryobi batteries in comparison to the Milwaukee ones. I will try to find batteries that are kind of similar in their strength. So let's do this. We're letting Big Red warm up. He's in there. In the meantime, we got a few tracks here. Anybody know what that is? But more importantly, anybody have any clue what made that? There's some wild animal right there. I bet that was Mrs. Lovely. All right, let's get this tractor out of the barn. All right, we got some gloves here. Let's go ahead and pull this little T-handle back here and lock it out of place. That's some stiff grease. It's been out in this cold. There we go. We got it locked. Now I'm gonna pop this off. See if there's any grease in this one. It looks like it's got a little bit, but not much. I'm gonna knock this one out. We're gonna put a brand new tube in so we can be equal in our test. All right, I took the glove off. We're just gonna pull this one out. It's pretty empty. It didn't have hardly any in there anyway, so that was a good time to get it out. Normally I take all of that out, but we'll trash this one. So when you're putting these in, there's a little arrow, and it tells you right here, place this end in the gun first. So we're going to pop this off. Just got that little plastic cover on it. We're going to stick this right in here. And now we can take this off. Screw this back on. All right, we just about got the Ryobi all set. All right, so this is the first time the Milwaukee will have any grease in it, except the manufacturer, they do test it. So you'll see a little residue in there. All right, let's pop this back. So there's a relief valve on this thing. It's this button right here. This button, if you see it here, you press this and it takes pressure. You can just kind of hit it and it will relieve any pressure that's in there. Take the air out. See if that makes this easier to pull or not. I don't think it made it any easier. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Okay, looks the same. You can see that residue in there where they have previously put grease in there and tested it. So let's pop this brand new one in there. We're just about there. Now let's talk about these batteries we're going to use. For the Milwaukee, I've got this CP 3.0 high output red lithium, and right now it's showing a full charge on it. For the Ryobi, we got a little bit bigger battery. This is the 4 amp hour. This is the largest I have in the Ryobi, and this is the smallest I have available in the Milwaukee. So we're going to kind of compare it using this, and this one has a full charge on it as well. So 4 amp hour, 18 volt Ryobi 1 plus lithium. Let's pop these in. All right. Let's get a board, and we will put some grease out on that board side by side and see how they go out without any resistance. All right, so I threw a cardboard box down here instead, and let's start with the old trusty Ryobi here. And I want to point out a couple things about it. I want you to look at the length of this one compared to the length of this Milwaukee. And before I go into the length of the Milwaukee, look at this little area here where it holds the end of this and prevents you from having such a mess. I really like that. This clips in here and this just pulls right out here. And when you're putting it in, you just pop it in and clip it in. And that's going to keep the whole thing in place. This one, on the other hand, it's got these two clips here, one in the rear and one in the front, and you just kind of push them into place if you can. Not as easy to work with, obviously, especially when it's cold out. Okay, I'm not going to bother with it, but anyway, you see the difference, right? And then in the length. So let's put the end of this up against the cardboard, and you can see how much further this Ryobi, the body of it, sticks out beyond the Milwaukee here. Everything from this point is all hose. The hose here starts here, but you've got all this motor part sticking out here. So you can certainly get in more compact areas with the Milwaukee. So I thought I'd just point that out real quick. But as far as grease is concerned, that's what matters, right? So let's see what happens with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a trigger pull. This is the Ryobi. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Still coming out a little bit. And of course, I had not primed it at all, so it was just doing its thing. Now, this Milwaukee never been used before. I'm probably going to need to prime it. And like I was saying before, on this back side here, you have this button, and you can press that, and you can see the grease coming out right there. So that primes it right there, guys. See that? Pretty slick. So we'll get rid of that. And that's a very easy way to do it. On this one, by the way, the Ryobi, sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth, but on this one, you've got this little knob that you have to turn. I rarely have ever had to use it. It will kind of self-prime. But anyway, so you got setting number 1 right here, if you can see that. And then up is setting 2. So that's going to push it out faster. We're going to start with 1, which I think is similar to the amount that we got with the Ryobi. This is the on switch, means it continuously goes. And this little scrolling switch, 1, 2, all the way, I think, gosh, it goes way up. That counts how many seconds it's going to go before it stops automatically. So if you keep it in the on position, it'll just keep coming out till you release the trigger. Here we go. And it's priming. Well, I'm going to squeeze that while I am mashing this button. We got nothing yet. Now, this is not a good sign. Like I said, I've never used this gun before. What's the deal? What is the deal with this? Well, let's put it up in 2 and see if that makes a difference. Oh, we finally got something. All right, it took a minute, but I turned it to 2. Now I'm gonna take it back down to 1, and we're gonna see what happens now. 1 is apparently super slow. And then we're gonna go again to 2. And let's pop a line right by this one. All right, so let's hit the Ryobi one more time and see what it's looking like in comparison. Okay, so based on what I just saw, the Ryobi is absolutely smoother and more full. And it's just coming out quicker. It seems like and I've used it a ton, like I said, and it's done a great job. Let's go number 2 again here with Milwaukee. A much thinner line. That was very steady and smooth, no doubt about that, but definitely thin in comparison. So I'm gonna pop it back up to 1. So before we use all our grease, let's get over and do something on the tractor. I mean, you see what's going on here. Drop a comment, tell me what you think about this, which one's doing the better job, and what you really want when it comes to greasing something. Do you want in the Milwaukee level 1 or level 2? Or you just want this less expensive Ryobi here and not spending your money on the Milwaukee? You tell me. Let's get over here. All right, so we're over here at the grapple. This is a WR long grapple, and I'm on the right side, and we have the identical zerks and fittings on each side. So we're gonna hit this side first with the Ryobi, and then we're gonna pop the Milwaukee on. So pay attention to this area here and here, because that's where the new grease will come out. I'll try to keep my hand a little far away so you can see. Kind of difficult from this angle. I'll tell you what, let me bring you around the other side. Maybe that'll help some. All right, let's take a look and see what it does. All right, I'm starting to see it on the left side here. Plenty coming out. Let's see if we see any come on this right side. It's coming out on both places, a lot more on the left. So that's what the Ryobi did, and that's how quick it did it. Let's check out the Milwaukee. Here's our Milwaukee. Here we go. It's coming out on the left there. I slid this over a little bit. Now this is the number 1 setting. I'm gonna pop it up to number 2, just let you hear it. Well, as far as I can tell, that was a close draw there. I believe the Milwaukee may have pushed grease out a little faster, but that don't tell me anything for sure. Let's jump over here and let's hit this one, and then we'll go over there with Ryobi. So again, Milwaukee, here we go. Okay, I see a lot coming out on the back side there. And you can't really see it too good from where you're at, but it did, it came out. But I didn't see any come out on top. Now we're gonna go over here, do the same thing on this one here, but with the Ryobi, see what it does. Let me get back on the other side so I can see. I'm not seeing anything come out yet. Okay, yeah, it's coming out on the back side as well. And so, hard to tell any difference at this point. Let's get this point with the Ryobi here. Okay, it's coming out up front. I was on the back looking and I didn't see that. Let's try the other side with the Milwaukee. I'm gonna pop this back down to number 1 just to see what it does there. It's coming out on the back a little bit. It's getting full. You can see it up here as well. Mostly in the back's where it's popping out at, so it's good. I don't know, y'all. We're gonna do a couple of tough ones here on the tractor, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, we're up here on the front of the loader where it comes down, where the grapple's on, and we're with the Milwaukee. Let's pop this on, and let's put it, keep it in on level 1, and see what it does. I see some coming right there. So it's coming through. Okay, we're on the other side. We will do the same thing with the Ryobi. She sure makes more noise. And there's popped out a little on the bottom. Yeah, it's coming out good. So I think the Ryobi may have taken it on that one. But again, I had that over there in level 1, so got to fiddle with it and see which one's better. I'm guessing 2's better. All right, we're back over here with the Ryobi. This will be our last test for now. We will compare this to the other side with the Milwaukee on setting number 2. And just be looking right in here or out here and see what you can see. I see some right up here coming out of the top. So that was pretty quick. We'll just leave that connected. Let's move over to the other side. We'll get the Milwaukee gun and we will connect it right into the same spot. And again, we're gonna pop it up to number 2, right there. I see it coming out on that side right there. Yep, still coming. Okay, we definitely tested this. Let's pop this in the little spot that I was telling you is so handy so we can walk away with it. There we go. All right, so we got Milwaukee. Let's put Ryobi down. He's sitting right there still. But I want to know what you're thinking before I say it. I hate to say it, I believe. Why do I hate to say it? Well, I think I just spent money that I didn't need to spend. But we got to do a good comparison, didn't we? I mean, there may be circumstances where this Milwaukee may outperform the Ryobi, but I didn't see outperformance here today, and I don't know that you did either. But let me know what you think, because I'm curious. I mean, Milwaukee's such a higher level known brand, and as you can see, I'm pretty much Milwaukee'd out. I've got all sorts of tools and I love them. And I had Ryobi before that, and I've always loved Ryobi, but there are definitely some tools in the Milwaukee lineup that are, you know, at that higher level, more professional grade than Ryobi. But the grease guns, that's a question. Let us know what you think. I'd like to know. Let's get a conversation going in the comments, because that is a lot more when you pay full retail than that. Now, I wonder if something about this could be the battery choice I made on this Milwaukee. I mean, we are at a 4 amp hour versus a 3. They're both 18 volts, of course. This may do completely different with a big battery. You know what? Let's just test that and see what happens. So my next size up is a 6 amp hour. Let's pop it in there and let's see how it does. All right, so we're back here at the 3-point hitch now. And if there's ever a hard place to get grease into, it's here, because there is a lot of pressure back here. And so I'm gonna clean this off so we might be able to see a little bit better. But we're gonna try this Milwaukee back here on this Zerk fitting with the 6 amp hour battery. Now, I've got much larger ones. I've got Forge batteries as well, but I don't wanna overdo it on this test. I want to stay still in the range with the Ryobi 4 amp hour battery, but we're definitely going up above it now. And that might be the trick for this Milwaukee. Or you might think this Milwaukee did just a fine job with that 3 amp hour battery. Let's go ahead and pop it on there and see how it does. So I don't know if you can see in here real good, but be looking around the edges. And you can see, just like it does with the Ryobi, the grease is coming out around the fitting. It's having a hard time pushing any grease into these joints where it needs to go. But we're gonna keep pushing. I heard a little pop over here. Let's go a little more. I don't know that we're getting any to come out where it needs to come out, but it sure is putting it in, or letting it escape on the outside of it. And what I've noticed in the past with the Ryobi, oh yeah, we wasted a lot of grease. But what I've noticed in the past with the Ryobi is that it won't even push it out hardly right here. And we'll test that again. I'm gonna get all this grease off of here. But what a shame to waste all that. And it's even a bigger shame if grease isn't getting in there where it needs to go, because we need grease in that joint or there wouldn't be a fitting there. So I wasted a bunch. Let's see what we can do with the Ryobi real quick. I may have loosened it up for it. All right, let's see what we get. I'm just getting the same thing. That click I heard earlier was just that. So I thought that was grease popping a minute ago, but it wasn't. So we're getting no grease in here. And it makes me wonder if I need to release the pressure off this 3-point hitch in order to get grease in there. Let's give that a go. Let me do that. Let me drop it down. All right, I started the tractor and I'm dropping the hitch. It's coming down. I want to stand up here on it and make it go down a little faster. It just goes down based on gravity. The hydraulics is what will pull it up, but it takes gravity to take it down. So it's a slow go. It's an interesting thought whether or not this will help. I think we've bottomed out here. All right. So, don't know that I've ever tested it like this before, y'all. Okay, we've got it dropped. We got the tractor turned off. I gotta try Milwaukee first and see if it does it. I'm rooting for Milwaukee. I want it to work. Same deal. I'm just getting it up around here. Nothing's, oh, I see some grease right there, y'all. Is that new? Or is that just where I dripped it? That's just where I dripped it, I guess. Just wasting grease here. What is the secret to get grease into this fitting? Somebody tell me, please, because I know it needs to get in there. Where is it at? Where is it going? Why is it not going in? That can't be good. Of course, I've not used my 3-point a ton. I mostly bush hog with my big old 15-foot Rhino bat wing, and it's just being pulled down here on the drawbar and hooked up to hydraulics. It's so big, you don't use the 3-point on it. But what's the deal with this thing? Well, this video turned into something it wasn't supposed to, and that is a problem that I don't know how to resolve. But if any of you guys out there know what's the secret to get grease into this fitting, I'd love for you to share that with me and anyone else that might be interested in knowing. Okay, well, which one? Which one would you pick? I would not be sad right now if I knew what I know now and never bought this. I wouldn't be sad at all, but not knowing, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. So if I didn't test something properly, if I didn't do a good job testing it, let me know. I'll be glad to do this again. Tell me in the comments what I should have done differently, perhaps, if I didn't do everything the way it needed to be done to test this puppy. But in my opinion, save your money. If you've got a Ryobi, keep it. Now, if you're on a battery platform, obviously you want to find a tool on that platform to stay on so that you're not buying different batteries. Like I mentioned earlier, I already had a bunch of Ryobi stuff, a little bit anyway, back in the day. And I still have a tire pressure inflator. I've got this grease gun. I've got a water pump, a couple other little things. I've given a lot of it to my other stuff to my son. Stuff never failed on me. However, you know, with my Milwaukee, all the tools I have with Milwaukee, I'm extremely pleased with just about, well, everything. Now that I've tried the grease gun, it's not that it's a bad grease gun. It's just, I don't see it being that much better than Ryobi. But anyway, I hope this video has been a little helpful to you. If you're on the fence, I hope I'm not leading you astray. So read the comments if anybody chimes in. Maybe you'll learn more from them than you will from me. But thanks for joining me here at the lovely place today, and we'll see you here next time. Take care and God bless.